What's up, 88ers? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about the perfect rep, how to execute the perfect rep, how to do perfect reps so you make sure you're not cheating yourself on your reps or your workout. Stay tuned. We're going to show you how to do the perfect rep. Okay, so we're talking about the perfect rep. Every rep has 3 phases. I don't care what exercise you're doing, every single rep has 3 phases. The lifting, concentric, if you will, the squeezing, the holding, the isometric squeeze, if you will, and then the lowering, the negative, the eccentric part of the rep, right? Don't get caught up in the vocabulary. If you don't know the word eccentric, it still works if you lower the weight, lower it down. So, don't get caught up if you don't know the words. Don't sweat it. It's the lifting, the squeezing, and the lowering. That's all you need to know. Your 3 phases for your perfect rep. All right, now you know the 3 phases. Let me show you a couple exercises where I'm executing the perfect rep. All right, let's get to it with this perfect rep. I'm gonna show you cable fly, the perfect rep, how to execute a perfect rep on a cable fly. If you don't know what cable fly is, you start here and you act like you're hugging a tree. Bend your arm slightly, get around the tree, and then back down, right? All right, so we're talking about the perfect rep. Right here is your starting position. You are at a lengthened position, strength position, stretch position, excuse me. Chest is stretched under load, that's your starting position. The lifting part, go ahead and lift. Bring it up, bring it together. Once you get here, this is the isometric part, the squeeze, the holding. You wanna hold and squeeze, contract your muscles here. Boom, squeeze, and then lower slowly, keeping the chest engaged while you do the negative, the lowering portion of the rep, just like so. Bam, and then back down. If you want to count, I would say 3, 2, 3. So 3 seconds lift, 2 seconds squeeze, 3 seconds back down. Nice and smooth, just like so. And as you can see, there's absolutely no rest because when I come down, the weights aren't touching. I'm still under load right here. Perfect rep. Lift, squeeze, lower. Boom, there it is. Perfect rep for your cable flies. Lift, squeeze, lower. All right, the next perfect rep I'm gonna show you is a cable curl. Check her out. Everybody knows how to curl, right? Right, let me see if I can give you tips to make it the perfect curl. All right, so you lift, the lifting portion, come up, squeeze right here, the isometric squeeze portion, and then you lower it like so. Keeping tension on the biceps the entire time. This one's a little tricky, y'all. Don't go all the way down to the bottom. This is resting. There is no resting in your perfect rep. So keep tension on the muscle, just like on the cable flies. We never let the weights touch. We kept tension on the muscle, right? For your biceps, you gotta bend your arms slightly. Don't let them go straight. Bend them slightly. This is your starting position. If you're starting straight or you go down straight every rep, it's rest. And there is no rest in the perfect rep. All right, hey, so right here, starting position, lift, squeeze, lower. Just like so. Lift, squeeze, lower. One more time, squeeze, lower, and then check it out. Don't go straight. Keep that arm slightly bent so you got tension on your bicep the entire time. All right, cable curls, lift, squeeze, and then lower. Perfect rep on your cable curls. Stay tuned, I'm gonna show you one more. Next perfect rep I'm gonna show you is a lat pull down. We got individual handles here, but it works for the bar as well. It's the same thing. Lift, squeeze, lower, right? All right. Okay, so this one gets a little bit confusing, and I'm gonna show you one after this. This is a little bit confusing as well. So when you pull down, you're actually doing the lifting part when you pull down right here. Boom. And then squeeze, and then lowering. Even though you're going up, this is the lowering portion of the rep, the negative portion of the rep. The eccentric portion of the rep is actually letting it back up. It's not lowering the weight, it's letting the weight back up. It can get a little bit confusing, but just remember, you're doing the lifting when you're pulling down. You're doing the lowering when you let it back up, just like so. All right, a big mistake I see on this one all the time. I just saw it yesterday at the gym. Guy comes in, leans back, whoo, 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 right? Not doing much there. Come on, do the perfect rep. Bring it down, nice and smooth. Squeeze the muscle, hold for a second, and then let it back up with the muscles engaged, the lats engaged, just like so. Down, squeeze, and then let her up slowly, just like so. Now remember, your muscles fire at an all or nothing pace. So your muscle fibers are gonna go fire, or they're not gonna fire at all. So if you're not doing one portion of this rep, you're not firing all the muscle fibers that you could. My man doing his reps all fast, he's missing out on the squeezing portion. So all the muscle fibers that will contract while you squeeze, he just missed out on all those muscle fibers, on all those gains. So make sure you're hitting all three phases of the perfect rep. Stay tuned, I'm gonna show you one more. Thanks for staying tuned, y'all. This is the last one we're gonna show you. It's a bonus, and it's a little bit confusing, like the lat pull down. It's a tricep press down, right? All right, so everybody knows how to do a tricep press down. Start here, press down, squeeze the tricep, and then keep it engaged as you come back up, like so. Just like the lat pull down, it's a little bit confusing because you're pushing the weight down as the lifting part, and then you're letting the weight up as the lowering part. So it's a little bit confusing, but just remember, when you're pushing down, that's the lifting portion. When you're letting it back up, that's the lowering portion. And squeeze. Get that squeeze in there, that isometric contraction, that max contraction we just talked about on the lat pull down. You're cheating yourself if you don't get that max contraction right there. You're just cheating yourself out of gains every time you don't squeeze that muscle. Now, a good pro tip, if you're having trouble contracting that muscle, the weight might be too heavy. Lighten it up and get the perfect rep in. You're gonna get more gains that way than trying to go heavy and cheat the reps. So make sure you get that contraction in there. And if it's too heavy, you're not gonna be able to contract. So keep that in mind and stay tuned, we're gonna cap this video. All right, y'all, let's cap this video. We did the perfect rep. Remember, there's three phases to every rep. The lifting, the eccentric part, the holding, the isometric squeeze, the max contraction part, and then the lowering, the eccentric part, right? Right. Don't get caught up on the verbiage. If you don't know eccentric, concentric, isometric, don't worry about it. It still works. You don't have to know the words, all right? Just remember, lift, squeeze, lower. That's all. All right, so we started with cable flies. Remember, on your cable flies, start at the stretch position, but don't go to rest. When you go down to the bottom part of the rep, make sure there's still tension on the muscle. Come up nice and smooth, slowly, squeeze, and then keep the chest engaged as you come back down, right? Perfect rep on your cable flies. Then we did cable curls. Same thing, y'all. Lift nice and smooth, squeeze that bicep as hard as you can squeeze it, and then lower it back down, nice and smooth. Keep tension on the bicep, and remember, don't go straight, don't go dead. We don't want the load on the skeletal system, right? We want it on the muscle system. So keep your biceps engaged, don't go all the way straight down. After that, we did the lat pull downs. Same thing, squeeze at the bottom, stretch at the top, squeeze at the bottom. Remember, that gets a little bit confusing because you're lifting while you're pulling down, and then you're lowering as you let the weight back up, right? Don't get confused there. All right, then we finished with the tricep press down. Just like on the lat pull down, it gets a little bit confusing because you're lifting when you're pushing it down, and then you're lowering when you let it back up like so. Make sure you squeeze that tricep. Get that isometric squeeze in there, right? Right. All right, so doing the three phases of the perfect rep is gonna give you more time under tension. It's gonna fire more muscle fibers than not doing it that way. Think about it. If you don't do one phase of the rep, you're only getting 2/3 of workout, right? So if you don't do the isometric squeeze, you just lift and lower, that's only 2/3 of your workout. And you're missing out on all those muscle fibers. You could make them fire if you're squeezing, but you're not squeezing, so you're missing out on those gains and those muscle fibers. Keep that in mind, y'all. Lift heavy, of course, but if you can't get that squeeze, that contraction, lighten it up a little bit, right? All right, thanks for staying tuned. Check us out every Sunday at 12 Eastern. We go live. You can catch Camille and I. Ask us any questions in real time. We'll get right to it. All right. For more videos like this, check out our, I don't know what playlist I'm gonna put this in, but I'm gonna throw it in one of them. 88 Fitness. Like and subscribe.